Well, good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. It's quite amazing. On my drive over here, I hear remarks from President Joe Biden where he says MAGA is the most extreme political organization in our country's history. Of course, that comes as a little bit of shocking news to me just a couple of days after, as a statewide candidate for governor, we couldn't even have a peaceful event with our campaign volunteers without being interrupted by Antifa thugs in nearly 15 minutes of being here. And of course, we're back here at Chapman Square in front of the federal courthouse. We have graffiti everywhere streamed throughout the park after last night's events, where after this Roe versus Wade, possible decision comes out, we're of course rioting again on the streets of Portland. It's unbelievable what's happened to this community, from roses to riots. 4 days ago, I came to Portland with a group of supporters to exercise our constitutionally protected right to free speech. What we experienced was only a small example of what we have seen for the past 2 years. A group of Antifa thugs are allowed to rule the streets of Portland with complete impunity. And while we never got help from the police to stop the arrest of Antifa when they assaulted us, we know we are far from the first with that story. I'm here today not about our experience, so much about the daily fear that Portlanders faced with a normalized chaos of Antifa. These terrorists know that they won't face any consequences for their actions for 3 critical reasons: a short-staffed Portland Police Bureau, District Attorney Mike Schmidt, who rarely pursues charges on these thugs and essentially has legalized violent crime through the city of Portland through his catch and release policies, and a media that's too afraid or too woke to call these thugs what they are: members of Antifa, a domestic terrorist organization. Last night, Antifa showed up again. Police report that windows were broken and there's graffiti and burning objects were thrown at this very federal courthouse. Thankfully, one arrest was made, unlike on Saturday. But too often, there's no consequences for such actions. That's why today, I'm announcing that my campaign is filing public records requests with the City of Portland, the Portland Police Bureau, and 911 emergency services, among others, to get to the bottom of why this city continues to have a hands-off approach with Antifa. We know our brave police are capable and willing to end the violence on our streets, but their hands are being tied, and we're going to highlight who's responsible. We won't rest until we uncover the policies or pressures on the police to not engage and charge Antifa with violent crimes. All of this is why Oregon desperately needs a tough-on-crime governor. Under a Pulliam administration, Portlanders won't have to live in fear of being assaulted by simply expressing their beliefs. You won't have to be a big money corporation to be able to afford the security measures and expensive windows it takes to not be vandalized downtown. You might be wondering why we're standing outside of the Hatfield courthouse today. It's to highlight how under my administration, we will end the rule of Antifa for good. We will first triple the size of the state police, restoring them to their former strength. We will deputize a portion of the state police's U.S. Marshals in order to charge Antifa and other violent criminals with a federal crime. That way, those thugs go to the federal judiciary outside of the jurisdiction of the Multnomah County DA. We will launch investigations into public servants who have been covering up for and ignoring the violence, including Multnomah County District Attorney Mike Schmidt. As needed, I'll deploy the National Guard to stop the riots. We'll use every available resource to identify the individuals who who have been terrorizing Portland on a regular basis and bring those thugs to justice. And we will defund Antifa by stopping all the state and public and rental assistance to anyone convicted of rioting on the streets. Under my watch, these streets will be safe for everyone except the violent thugs of Antifa who are terrorists. Thank you so much for coming today. Appreciate it.